All right, I have Cody Durden back on the show now, who fights next on June the 25th at UFC Vegas 57 when he meets JP Bays. Cody, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Living life.
Yeah, life is going very good for you. We were just chatting a little bit before we started the interview, and obviously at one of the absolute best gyms on planet Earth. And I see on your Instagram, you've had some other very well-known athletes in the gym, some of the Miami Dolphins players in there. So I just want to start there, man. What was that like? Who's been in the gym getting some work in with you guys?
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins came in last Friday and watched us spar. It was Little Glove sparring, and yeah, it was exciting, man. Got to meet some pro football players, and those guys are huge, man.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, it's so who all was in there? Did you know the name specifically?
not all of them. I think Tua was there, the quarterback. He was a former Alabama quarterback. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if Tyreek Hill was there or not, but I mean, the head coaches, just man, there was like 100 of them, you know. So
Wow.
it was it was all the football players. So
That's very cool. And obviously, I'm a New England guy, so I'm a Patriots fan. So, but the Dolphins are on the come up, man. They're looking really good. Did any of them try to get any work in? Like, I'm sure they're all natural athletes, anyways. I'm sure just their motor skills and everything would take pretty well to MMA.
no, man, I taunted them a little bit and tried to get them to put the gloves on and tried to do first takedown wins for 1,000. Obviously, I was just kidding. They'd smash me. They're huge. But yeah, man, just nice people. I met this guy, Gregory Little. He's offensive lineman. I think his number 72. He's man, I taught him some some arm drags and it was cool. It was a cool experience. Even though I felt like a chicken and I was there to like a chicken fight, you know what I mean? Having all these football players watching you spar and stuff. It was quite the experience. So
So I think now what has to happen is they need to bring you and some of the guys from the team to a game to watch a game later this year, right? Did you guys talk about that?
man, that would have been awesome. That I should have, but no, I didn't even bring it up, man. I just been trying to stay focused, really, focused on the task at hand. And when I walk in the gym, I try not to be so happy all the time and try to switch into that mode that, I'm gonna be in the cage.
Well, let's talk about switching that mode a little bit, because obviously your last fight out didn't work out the way that you would have wanted it to. Did that just light even more of a fire under yourself to get back in there and just be the best version of yourself?
Man, it's fighting's weird. You can have the best training camp and get in there and that happened to you, and then you can have the worst training camp and come out on top. For the Mokaev training camp, I had a great training camp. Everything went my way, except the results of the fight. So uh, it was difficult to grasp, but you know, on the same spectrum, I'm used to doing that to people. I got 7 first round finishes, and yeah, it happens, man. You just have to move forward and learn from it. Learn that anything can happen in the fight, and continue to trust the process and believe in yourself and keep moving forward.
Is there one thing from just that matchup in particular with Muhammad that you can point towards for the result, the way that it turned out, or was it just, did you make a mistake in there? Like what's the takeaway, I guess, from your standpoint?
Just don't be so flat-footed. Don't be so flat-footed going forward. And when you bite on feint, reset and straight spine. Don't uh hunch over. And that's about all I could take from it. But I mean, I train with Mokaev now down here at American Top Team, and at first it was a little weird for me, but man, he's a cool guy, and we actually pair up for wrestling, and we do a lot of rounds together, and yeah, I mean, it's just normal now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we're only going to see a better version of yourself here moving forward, and it'll start here June 25th at UFC Vegas 57. As far as training at ATT goes, I know you got a bunch of killers around you day to day. I want to talk about one guy in particular, and it's a Bellator standout, Danny Sabatello. He's clearly a great fighter, and I mean, he's an unbelievable interview too. He's got so much to say, and he's just so he believes in himself so much. What is it like having him around? Because you and him are pretty much same size. I imagine that he's one of your main training partners.
Dude, we actually we did a 5 minute round today, and man, he's a freaking monster. I mean, he's just freaking good, just like he said. And that's my lock. I told him he's gonna make me a lot of money.
So how do you feel he plays? His skill set is going to translate to this tournament that he's in for Bellator, because a lot of great guys in that weight class. He's going to have a couple more tough fights right after this next one he has.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The results of this fight. I think he's going to dominate the whole fight. And then maybe he'll fight Rufon Stotts next. We'll see how that goes. But Stotts is a killer too. So that's a good tournament, man. I mean, it only gets tougher and tougher, And I think Kyoji had the worst possible matchup the first round. There's a lot of better matchups for him. And yeah, man, we'll see the results of it. I hope Danny can take it all. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they're doing some great things over there in Bellator as well. Looking forward to seeing Sabatello back in there. As far as your other main training partners for this camp goes, has it been pretty much the same guys from like the past, or has there been anyone new that you're primarily working with the most?
I'm working with so many people, man. It's just when you work with so many people like that, you start finding out, what they're doing, where you're struggling at, and just start closing the gaps. That's why, man, this team wins down here, uh, and yeah, I have training partners that aren't even in the UFC, but they're UFC caliber, and they're still on the regional scene. And yeah, we'll see him coming up in the next few years. Sal Guerrero, uh, Juan Porta, he's a veteran in the sport. Um, Victor Diaz, I mean, Tony Gravely. I got a lot of good partners down here that I've been working with.
So I know there's different affiliates for ATT. Has it been different this camp though? Because I don't believe you've always been at Coconut Creek all the time, and it seems like that's where you're at primarily consistently now.
Yeah. So back home in my gym, there's a lot of big guys, and there's a few small guys, but we've been training together for years, and I just had to get out of my comfort zone, and if I'm going to continue to progress in the sport, then I needed to switch something up. And man, American Top Team Lima, that's my home gym. Diego's one of my coaches. He's coming to corner me this fight, and I love them, and I just had to get out of my comfort zone and switch it up a little bit.
How has that been as far as, with your family? I know that's your main priority, your family, man. Has it been more difficult being away from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but yeah, I've been down here for 5 weeks. I went home for 1 week and did some training back home. But like I said, I got to make sacrifices, and there's no distractions here. I'm in the hotel. I train, and I don't do no much but train. I might go to the pier and walk the pier, or go to the beach and have some dinner, but that's about it, man. My life's been fighting for the last 6 weeks, and I'm excited. Dude, I want to cover this guy in blood. I'm excited for this fight, and my confidence is there, and we're gonna see something spectacular. You come in the gym every day and you consistently do well. not just coming in there one day and doing well, but you consistently do well with other guys that are in the UFC, gives you a different type of confidence. And man, I'm ready.
It seems like, based on what you're saying, that maybe you've even grown and evolved over this last 5 weeks as a mixed martial artist. Do you feel like you're an even better version of yourself over these last 5 weeks being in Coconut Creek?
Well, not even that. My last training camp, I was down here for weeks at a time as well, and I didn't get to show anything. You know what I mean? I didn't even get warmed up in the fight. I didn't even break a sweat. I got kneed in the jaw with a switch knee, and then I was rocked and I got caught in the choke. So I didn't really get to show anything. When I fought Aori Keeling back in November, I had COVID 5 weeks before. I was dealing with some injuries, and man, I still came out on top. So yeah, the whole past 6 months have been me training, and that's pretty much it. And so I'm hungry. I really want to win. It's the only thing. And when I get in that cage, there's no more tapping. And if I get caught, I'm going to sleep. That's all there is to it.
All right, so I'm going to dive into this matchup with JP right here in a minute. But first, I wanted to get your takeaway on UFC 275. I'm sure you watched it. If you didn't, I'm sure you at least caught the highlights, the post-fight show and everything. What was your takeaway from first start with that Glover Yuri fight? Was that the best UFC light heavyweight title fight of all time?
I heard it was. That's the only fight I didn't get to watch. I had to leave early, but I watched every other fight besides that one. And man, I heard it was great though.
It was fantastic, man. I feel like Glover, he was 30 seconds away from defending his title. I think if it went to the judges, he was going to win. So it was just the drama, the way it ended was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And what I read up on the fight was that Yuri didn't have a chance after the second round, to win the fight, that he was going to either win in the first or second. And yeah, it just shows you how tough Yuri is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Shevchenko defends her title, really close one, split decision over Tyler Santos. That was a little bit surprising for me. Did you feel the same way? Did you feel like, Shevchenko was a massive favorite here and expected to win in dominant fashion?
I did, but she was counter fighting, and Santos, man, it's just like I don't even know how to judge a fight anymore. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but man, I just felt like that she was controlling her, and but Santos didn't land a strike on the feet. So it's like, what counts more, the control or not landing a strike? And then you got the headbutt. It was just it was a good fight, It was a good fight.
I'd love to see them run it back and have a rematch right out of the jump here and do that immediate. But that's just me. I did also want to get your take too, because obviously Weili Zhang, my God, that knockout of Joanna was vicious. And then she said in the cage afterwards, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I'm talking about, is retiring. Do you feel like this is the last we're going to see of Joanna, or do you think we'll see her back in there?
I don't think we will. I know she's in a relationship, and she said she wants to have a baby, and she's been fighting 2 decades, and she's got, I think she has a few businesses with supplement companies, and I don't think we will. She took a 3-year hiatus, and she's been back in the gym this whole year, since my first training camp back in February. She's been training, and I've seen her work hard, and I think she's done. She wants to be a mother, and she's earned that, dude. She's closing the chapter, I think. So, props to her. Congratulations. She had a phenomenal career.
Is she the greatest strawweight of all time?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely wish her well. I wouldn't mind seeing her back in the cage, just because I'm selfish. And I'm a selfish MMA fan, and I love watching her compete. But definitely wish her the best moving forward. I did want to get a title fight pick for you before we dive into this matchup with JP. Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France, the interim title fight. Your weight class later on this year. Who wins that one and why?
I think Brandon Moreno is going to win. You know, he's got uh, more experience with 5 round fights, and he's just a savage. You know, he's a savage, and maybe he takes it down to the ground, but it's definitely an interesting matchup because France has some hands. You know.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one, man. A lot of great fights in this weight class. Let's dive into yours with JP Bays. He's 9-4. He is 0-2 in the UFC. He's got losses to Bruno Silva and Montel Jackson most recently. Break this one down for me, Cody. Do you feel like he presents any trouble to you in certain areas, or do you feel like you're going to be able to kind of dictate where and how this fight takes place?
You know, first of all, anything can happen in the fight, like I said, and you know, I gotta be creative, keep the distance, uh, believe in myself, and most of all, just let my training speak for itself. You know, uh, I believe he's a good fighter. You know, but I'm just right now. I just believe I'm on a whole another level.
Do you feel pressure, like extra pressure to win this fight coming off of that loss?
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, you know, I'm pissed off every day when I wake up, and you know, I just got to get back on track. You know.
So UFC Vegas 57, June 25th. You already said Diego is making the trip for you. He'll be in your corner come fight night. What left do you have to do but before the actual fight gets here?
Man, I just gotta stay healthy. I'm healthy as hell right now, and I got about 6 7 days of yeah, let's say Monday. Yeah, I got 6 days of good training left, and then we just focus on the weight cut. So the next few days is very crucial that I stay healthy, and you're gonna see a fight, man. I'm coming for blood. You're gonna see a real fight.
What is your weight at right now? How far away from actually making that weight class?
I'm 143 right now.
Okay, is that normal for you, or are you usually a little bit closer?
Uh, so my goal weight is to be 138 Tuesday. So I'll make it. I've always made weight, man. 20, I guess this is my 28th fight or something altogether. And never miss weight. Only pulled out one time. That wasn't my fault though. The UFC doctor pulled me out for pink eye. But yeah, man, I show up, never turn down a UFC fight. It's my 5th UFC fight. And I fought some savages, you know. So let's just keep it going. Let's get paid.
Well, give me your official prediction here, brother. How do you see yourself getting your hand raised? What's your ultimate early prediction for this one?
Man, Cody Durden defeats JP Baez via 2nd round TKO.
I love it. And how active are you trying to stay here in 2022? As long as you're healthy, you want to try and get back in there soon, or are you looking to push it out and get a full camp in?
Uh, that's a good question. But I think that question can only be answered after the fight. Honestly, there's a lot riding on this.
All right, man. Well, I want to talk to you after the fight as well. So we'll have to do a post-fight recap. Hopefully with you getting your hand raised, talking about a big victory here. Again, UFC Vegas 57, June the 25th, Cody Durden, JP Buys. Great talking to you as always, my friend. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, floor is yours.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Cody_Durden or at Cody Durden, one of the two. Big shout out to Barber Orthopedics, Scott Brannon, Marshall Inu, Maple and Pine Properties, Athletic Apparel, Dale Mesman, Jason Ferguson. Thank you all for sponsoring me this fight camp. and let's get this victory.